Today's creative tip is actually another one taken from Questlove's book, Creative Quest. And it is the idea that creativity and creative acts don't have to be generative, so you don't have to like make anything, but they can actually be about curation. So, you don't have to write a poem, write a short story, but there's this act of curation where you take a bunch of awesome stuff and put it together in a way that others can enjoy. So a great one is just DJs. That's what Questlove kind of takes on in his book. But, taking a bunch of songs, putting them together in new ways, having them speak to each other. So when a listener encounters them, they have this new experience. And that can happen, and if you think about short story collections, poetry collections, art museums, just putting together art in different ways can have a really powerful effect on people. So I think it's a really cool way to think about creativity in this new avenue, because you don't have to be always making something, or you don't have to be a spectacular artist, but just putting together things in new ways can really inspire and help people relate to the artwork in better ways. And this can take fun. It doesn't have to be DJing necessarily. It could be, gardening, curating all these plants into specific orders, pruning them. So taking what's there and, making it into a new dimension, scrapbooking, like I said, even making playlists for your friends. Another cool thing is you all have that friend you kind of go to, right? That has the best book collection. Be like, oh, I want a book about, horror. I want a sci-fi book. And they can put together a list that you will take in. And that's a creative act, right? That's taking a bunch of stuff that's already there, making it new and making it something that people can take in. So if you aren't super into making content, creating and curating content is just as creative and a great way to interact with people and share with people as well. So this week we'll kind of be doing some exercises around this, curating playlists, curating artwork, book collections, your wardrobe, all kinds of things, of pruning things down to sort of maximize them and share with others. So it'd be a fun week thinking about curation rather than generation instead of in terms of creativity. Today's creative exercise is the first one in the curation series, and that's just thinking about creativity not as just something generative, so you have to make something, but taking what's there and putting it together in new ways. So, you think about DJ putting together a set list, scrapbooking, and today's activity is for you to put together a top 10 list. So think about, top 10 movies, TV shows, video games, books, poems, things that really mean a lot to you, and curate them into a list of 10 that you can share with others. So one thing I will encourage you to do is don't just do the high level fruit. So don't just do my 10 favorite movies or my 10 favorite, books. Take it one step closer, one step down, I guess. So if you're doing books, maybe top 10 protagonists in books. If you're doing songs, top 10 songs about heartbreak, top 10 songs that make you dance. So just go that one extra layer in the top 10 list, just so it's something a little bit more unique and you. For this exercise, I started with video games, so top 10 video games. I've been really into video games lately. I just spend the time, waste time. I don't know what the correct term is, but I just thought of top 10 songs from video games. So as always, you can click the link in my bio and go and check out my list. But I just did top 10 songs from video games that have meant a lot to me, or that always were stuck in my head. I really love video game music because it just astounds me that, Super Mario Brothers theme, you can hear that constantly for hours and hours and it doesn't somehow make you go crazy. So I just really appreciate what game developers and designers do to make that music as part of the experience. So you barely notice it, but also kind of love it. So today's exercise, curate a list of your top 10. Try to take it a step lower. So, don't just do top 10 bland things. Try to dig a little bit deeper and do, protagonists. If it's top 10 superhero movies, maybe top 10 action sequences in superhero movies, and then share your list with others. Fight about it, start a debate, see what other people think, but have fun. So curate your top 10 list and see what comes out. Today's creative exercise is around the idea of curation once again, and this is curation of visual elements. So I encourage you to, use your phone packed full of photos, I'm sure, friends, family members, events that you've done or places you've gone, and narrow them down and put them into a photo book. So there's lots of services that do that. I use freeprints.com, but Shutterfly, even the Google Photos app offers an ability to make a photo book in it. So just use one of those services and then create a photo book around it. It could be, a gift for someone, a spouse, a family member, partner, or it could be, just something, maybe you've taken a trip recently and want to put all those together, or maybe it's just something fun like me wearing hats. In a lot of the photo services, you can search for specific things. So maybe you can find yourself wearing hats and put together a full book. But think about something that you want to share with others or put on your coffee table and put that photo book together. See what you curate to share with others in this visual format. Today's creative exercise is the final in the curation series. It's also, I realize that like 3 of the past 5 exercises I've made about music. So sorry about that if you don't like music or don't have a Spotify account. But this one is to just curate a playlist for a friend. So think about, songs that you've had through a friendship. It could be a partner as well. Just anyone in your life who you have a music connection with that you'd like to share a playlist of 10 to 12 songs with. If you're like me, you may have some friends where you have eras of music that you could create. So I'm working on a playlist for a friend, because everything from Ray J to High School Musical to Fall Out Boy, all across the spectrum. So have fun with it. Just curate, all that music into a playlist of 10 to 12 songs that you make for a friend or family member, with songs that mean a lot or represent your relationship in some way. So have fun with it, and then of course share it with that person and see if you can jam out together or share a moment together, but just enjoying that playlist.